Okay, open up the April 30th Sewer Commissioners meeting. Elaine, aye.
Bill Watson, aye.
Ryan Donato, aye.
Okay, so why don't you two join us at the table? We got your emails, I forwarded them on, and we can hopefully answer some of your questions. Yeah, you can come out to the table. Sure. Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. So everybody's got the emails. And basically, you're looking for the buffer with the trees, how
That's-
many it's being cut down,
Yeah.
and then the traffic with the trucks on the road.
Right.
So Brian could probably answer that with the trucks on the road, so we get that back cleared up.
Well, the trucks, the way it was planned as of this morning, all trucks coming in will come up Route 80, all take a left,
Mhm.
go around, that's the shortest distance, and come to our site, and go out the same way. So they
Okay.
weren't going through the whole subdivision.
No, I realize that. I think our concern with the trucks was, one, the speed that they were going pretty fast out there at times. Not so much the big ones, because they can't, but you know, the smaller ones were going pretty fast. And then they were parking like in front of her house, and idling.
For
which-
hours.
Hours. So that was quite noisy. So maybe, and they were standing outside the trucks, you know, chit chatting and stuff. Maybe they could just shut their trucks off.
I guess I'll just chalk it up to the first day of the job. And then
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So we'll pass all that on. I mean, this is why.
This is great.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
Wonderful.
right.
Yes.
So, just so you know, they were backing up today. We weren't allowed to turn around anywhere. So we were turning out just today into our easement,
Mhm.
and the neighbors there had issues with that, even though it's our property. Make a long story short, we are now allowed for this week, until we can clear our trees to get up and have all the equipment into the site.
Mhm.
There'll probably be a couple trucks idling this week. There shouldn't be after a couple of days.
That's
Okay,
fair.
This won't be, they just had no place to go. Okay.
Yeah, I did see a
Understand.
lot of them backing, their
Well, that's-
semis back. I thought that's.
So we had to
quite the
load, we have to
effort.
load
we were
the
limited to what we
You take-
could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're taking the trees off the site, they go down the chipper goes into the truck. And because we couldn't go in the other way as of this morning, we had a backup so that the end of the truck is facing the right direction.
Okay,
So
Yeah.
after this week, probably Thursday, where they're going, it'll be Thursday. We'll be
Okay.
up inside and there'll be no more of that.
wonderful. Okay, that's easy enough.
There may be pickup trucks with guys on this road, but there'll be a detail there.
Okay.
Yeah, I did see the
Yeah.
detail and I apologize for that. I just
Oh,
sort of
that's okay.
assumed they'd be down closer to our neck of the woods. But yeah, if you could say something about the speed, that
Yep,
would be,
that's easy.
it's a huge issue on that.
It is, yes, without your trucks, like it's always an
No,
issue.
that's-
But what's scary
Yeah.
is the walking path from the train lot is right there. It's directly across from my house. So I sit on the front porch all the time and kids come flying out on their bikes. Now we're saving the turtles, so they can't do that right now. But
But they
otherwise,
are.
yeah, they still go over it, but they can't shoot out as fast. And I've seen so many near misses and I'm thinking,
Right.
you know, a big truck does that, it could be really bad.
We made that point to the contractor too.
Mhm.
And we also changed the fence is now gonna be, so people who are commuting, I guess, use that same pathway.
Yes,
It's now the fence, was when I left, it's now a corridor. So the turtle fence is up for each side and people can walk and drive through with their bikes.
Well, that hasn't happened yet, but that's a
not
great
yet, but
idea.
that's good.
It's
Okay,
Probably being done now.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but that's the other thing we
okay.
picked up.
And the goal is to have a police detail there when there's activity on the street. Once we're in back and where
You won't need to.
we won't need to,
Sure.
when the effort is concentrated back there. But our intention is to have a police detail, and if we end up that we need more frequently, we
Mhm.
will.
Wonderful.
So
Thank
it's not gonna be for lack of, we don't wanna, spend the money. If
Okay.
we're gonna do whatever we need to do to make it safe for
you.
the
Safer,
neighborhood.
wonderful.
That's our goal. So it's good. You tell us, email me, call Jeannie, whatever,
Yeah,
and
that's
we'll
great.
listen and do what we can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then, of course, I sound like a tree hugger here, but I'm really not. I am concerned about how
The
deep.
buffer.
Yeah.
We were too.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why it was designed the way it was.
Yeah.
So. Okay, so here's the easement we have. The water line, the sewer line will be in the woods up to this point, and there's right around here's where that crossover you have.
Okay,
Then we're coming out on the street. The reason we're out on the street is apparently through our process of talking, people wanted as much of this wooded area left. So we actually went out into the road with the pipe, and
Okay.
all that was gonna stay exactly the way it is.
Okay.
So my
None
house is
none of the
about
trees will be
here,
removed here.
No trees. It'll be in the street. We're gonna be in the
which is
street.
great.
Okay, so that's the way, so up to here, and now we're working here. This is all clear, actually.
Okay, so you guys are working up here, so my house is probably here and that's you,
Right.
and you're going to be in the street and then it's going to sweep down.
No, only from there. That's where the pipe
Where the,
is
you know
now.
where the condos are right here?
Yes,
Then you can see where there's fenced off.
okay,
That, which we stop there and then we go this way.
It looks like someone's lawn that's irrigated and all that is actually our
Okay.
easement. So we've talked to that woman and her daughter, and they're okay now.
okay.
So we get to the end of the road and then we go off this way. We
Go
don't
down by the
continue,
train.
we don't continue down around.
No.
None
Okay,
of
that's
the excavation
wonderful.
work can be done in front of any of these condos.
Okay,
It stops there and goes, our easement goes down.
okay,
back
so
over towards
then
the
none of the
edges.
trees are going to be affected or any of it?
You could see where the low lying trees, the small ones, are 6 or 8 feet
Like
tall.
sap-
That was already cleared at one time.
Yeah,
That's the only area that we're gonna work in. And then when it starts to get into more denser stuff and the grade starts to go up, we're coming into the street. We're
okay.
leaving that hill, that mound,
Wonderful.
and all those trees in that section.
Okay.
But she and I live here.
Yep.
So it's these, yeah, so if he said that's the part that goes down to the train station. So if that's
Okay.
the case, you're here and I'm here.
Yeah, this is the path that goes to the train station, but you are right,
The illegal path,
yeah,
Right.
yes.
right,
The only
The-
trees that are gonna get cut are the ones inside that silk
Turtle.
fence.
right.
So you can see all the ones, most of the, like Bill said, all the big ones are still left. There's still about 180, 100 feet left, and we're taking about 20.
Yeah.
Right on the shoulder. We live
For 20
sidewalks.
feet.
Yeah, sidewalks here. There's an electric line right here, and we'll be right next to it.
Okay,
Yeah, because
So that's still a lot
this
of
section here,
buffer.
it's really just
Yeah.
small,
It
the
was- that
small
was the
pine
intent.
tree. It was
Okay.
cleared at one
No,
time.
no, it's a
But
lot of
anything
buffer.
on those small pine trees, backside of it,
Yeah.
we're not touching.
It's that.
okay, that's
So
wonderful.
the old growth, we're not even gonna get
So
in.
if this is the path, I'm actually here and Kathy, you're right here.
Right,
That's where we are, because I'm on that side of the path.
Are you the last house down on that
Yeah,
stretch, or the
yeah,
first
yeah.
one,
And-
so to speak? Yeah,
And we've talked about
next to the
replacing
Tonsberg, the two vacant
there's
lots.
the vacant lots there.
Next to
Yep,
that.
okay.
what we can do to replace vegetation after the fact, but because there will be a sewer line in there, it will be limited what can go back, but we've
Okay.
talked about putting, if we can put vegetation back to not bring it back to exactly the way it is now, but to do something to try to,
Right,
you know, cover up what we did take down.
that would be great, because
Yeah.
my big concern is we have the train, we have the
Right.
noise from the train.
Right.
We have the lights from the train. We have drag racing that goes on over there that nobody will enforce. The MBTA says
Yeah, lots
it's
of
not
minutes.
their responsibility. The Kingston police say it's
Parking
not,
lot?
yeah.
Oh,
And they
it's
take
bad.
all hours of the night. It's incredible.
Thanksgiving morning at 8 AM, as I had a house full of people saying, "Well, it sounds like we're at the Indy 500. I mean, that's what it sounds like. It
Oh,
truly
wow.
does.
And
It's
nobody will
awful.
take
Well,
responsibility
the
to
T,
do
the
anything.
T owns the parking lot, owns the park. Town of Kingston owns the there's a Gallon Road.
Yeah,
Goes all
yeah,
the-
yeah,
goes
yeah.
all the- We own that now, so it's like, the police don't really go up there because we don't own any property at the end of the
Right.
track, but
They do.
But if
when
they
I
call-
call. I did call. I do. Because they set up shop there. I mean, they have coolers and
Yeah.
lawn chairs. I mean, this is like an event.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
it must be like,
That's during the day, but at night, it's just a couple of people. But I mean, it can be midnight, it can be.
right.
8
So we
o'clock.
have all this
Yes.
going on over there, and then you got the turbines, and I'm just afraid that if those, especially the big trees, because there are a couple of big trees in that turtle row I walked kind of through, which they do so many turtles. But there are some big trees there, and I'm just afraid if I lose those big trees, I'm gonna hear that turbine. I can sort of hear it now.
it
But
does
I don't want to
sound-
be that person who did all the turbine stuff for the last couple of years. I don't want to be involved in that. I would just, maybe you could not
Sure.
take the big trees.
I
In that
can take
area.
a look at it. I'm not sure. But the turbine's like this way.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
like right here.
So you're still gonna have. I mean,
The shaded
direction-
area is not being touched.
Right, but these trees
Yeah.
block, the big trees that are here block my sight of it.
Okay,
And
so,
any tree coming down will affect the noise level.
so Brian, from the fence to the street, I'm making up this number, let's say it's 100 feet.
Fence in the street.
And
Okay.
then we are clearing of that depth of 100, maybe 25 feet. So
from
75.
the edge of the road back, we're only going 20 feet.
in the, what's abutting the fence is staying.
Right, but these big trees are in front of the fence.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what we'll see what we can
Okay.
do after the fact, but they do need to be cleared to get the pipe in.
And how long, like, is our road going to be impassable? Because I mean, if I'm living here and it's going in here, it sounds like, how am I getting
Never,
home?
never.
Never.
Never a problem.
they're only gonna be excavating half the road. So the other half will still.
Oh,
be passed.
okay, so
Yeah.
you'd still
It's not
have
like
the
they're
one
taking
lane.
from curb to
Okay,
curb.
well, that's good news.
And if-
I was wondering about that.
And the police detail will definitely be on site for when that road is opened up.
Yeah, for the passes.
Yeah.
Okay, and we think that this is, I mean, when do you think the road part will start happening?
Right now, the schedule is about a month and a half from now,
Okay,
and that'll only take, I'm not kidding, this whole thing will take a month total. About this in the road is maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. I
wow.
mean, it's done.
Yeah.
Our
And
goal,
they'll pave it back over.
our
With a
goal,
binder coat.
we
They'll
started
come back and
today,
Finish it with the trucks at all.
90% of this is gonna be done by fall. I mean, so
Mhm.
we really wanted to get this done
Right.
and stop bothering people.
Okay.
So what are the chances of, could we run pipes all the way down and save that vegetation? I know it's a crazy, but
Well, a lot of some of it has to do with cost effectiveness.
Mhm.
We're not tearing up the street. We're not having to repave it. And they're just going down through natural material. And literally, the growth that's there now it's probably only 15 years old. The smaller trees, you can
Mhm.
see that.
I know what small trees you're talking about.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
small pines, and that was cleared at one time.
right.
And anything beyond that, if we have to go a little bit further, yes, in some cases, we might be able to plant a larger tree outside of our excavation marks on the backside.
Mhm.
That, you know,
I'll have to walk it. So
Yeah.
you're basically saying that anything that's in Turtle Row, for lack of
Yeah,
a better
exactly.
term, is.
That's the
out.
limit.
Okay, so they're, I mean, if you're,
We'll take a look at it, but the other point is, we can't go any closer to the street because the electric, there's an 8-inch, large 8-inch conduit.
And water lines.
And well, the water line's in the street actually, but the electric is off the shoulder. We didn't know that. They just marked it today.
So
So.
Yeah, they were marked.
It
we have
forces-
the white.
So it forces us to not go closer to the road, which we can do. But, I mean, we can take it under advisement.
That would be great. That's all I'm
and
asking.
Figure out what the cost is gonna be for it, since paving it. We have an issue with the owner of this whole thing.
Yeah, we know.
and that
I'm
has,
shocked.
And the engineers did design that, not having to design where everything was in that street. But up to this point, they did from here to here.
and that has guided us to do certain things that we may not have, typically
Chosen to do.
done
Mhm.
because of the situation that we have run into with work
Mhm.
stoppages and things like that.
I understand.
So it was like, we had to balance it,
Mhm.
but like Brian said, we hear you, he'll look, Brian's the real field guy on this.
Yeah.
For the
Clerk of the
commissioners, yeah.
You'll see him up there. in just a
And,
minute.
In the construction, yeah.
Yeah.
I love this.
And,
Of course, David's our superintendent and he'll be going by,
Yeah,
Time to
starting
time.
that place.
Okay.
I
Putting out
understand the
fires if
Speed
they-
that people
they
come around
start,
that corner.
It's crazy.
I didn't realize. So
It's
being up
crazy.
there
And
today-
they don't care if you're like walking your dog on the side.
Baby
They don't
carriages,
care.
doesn't
Yes, they don't care. It's
Thankfully, I
frightening.
will say that at least the line of sight as you come around the corner, there's not
Mhm.
some high growth on the inside of the
Right.
vacant lots,
Mm.
which helps. At least you can see the cars coming at you.
We also,
Yeah.
what do you do is block it, because the reason they can, it's because they can see, they can go fast.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, but as a pedestrian, I'd like to know they're coming at me.
Right, and our homes are newer, like I think yours is the oldest home there and it's what, 2.5 years?
Yeah.
So I think people got used to the freeway.
yeah,
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 People pass each
Yes.
other over there. I'm not kidding you. I swear to you on all that's holy.
Yeah.
I've seen twice where they pass. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my blood just boils. And I think to myself, I gotta go inside because I just worry somebody's gonna get hurt.
I worry
I mean,
about
they
those
just-
kids, 'cause
Yeah,
they-
because they shoot out of that path like a rocket, they're all challenging who can get home first or whatever. But anyway, okay, so that answers a lot of questions.
So check out the
Um,
trees.
yeah.
I mean, it's just the tall ones. I'm mostly those big, huge pines. I'm mostly, because that's gonna block the turbine. And that's my concern.
There's such a difference, right, in the winter and fall
Yeah.
of what we see versus the summer, spring. There's a huge difference. Like I remember being in my bedroom the first night where it was like, why are those lights so much brighter? Well, it's because all the leaves fell off the tree. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the thought of, we were so afraid that you guys were going to say, oh, we're leveling all that, because that, I mean, I was told when I purchased my home, what can happen over there? And they said, absolutely nothing. Nothing can happen there. So I was like, yay, all I get to stare at is woods. That's wonderful. So then when I heard all of this, the panic started setting in because we don't want to see all that. Okay.
The happening that nothing can happen above ground over there. So
Okay, but
they
below
couldn't, they're not gonna put
ground,
another house over there. in front of-
Right.
But, you know.
Just so I'm clear,
Mhm.
there's only two houses on that side, right? Between the
So-
curves?
The first house, when you come, the way the trucks are coming, the
Yeah.
first house is Kathy's on that right. So you round the corner,
There's
And
the
Kat-
two Tonsberg vacant lots,
Right.
right?
juniors.
And then it's Kathy, then it's me, then there's new owner, there's an empty lot. Then there's new owners, and then there's people up on the corner.
So these
Okay.
people are getting what we're trying to do for you. And your houses are right about here then.
Yeah.
So if we can move this down just to even there, maybe that's the thing we can do, and it's not a big, just trying to think of what
I would
ideas.
be so grateful.
That would be
So,
amazing.
I don't know.
Ask the
Just to be
question.
aware
I'm
of
gonna
us,
ask the
you
question,
know?
figure out.
I know they did a lot of surveying and finding out what was in the street that they were gonna have to deal with on this section. And clearly, they going this way, they didn't have to research it, so.
Mhm. Right,
Because everything, because we said, go this way as far as you can until it starts to rise up.
right. And we're,
And pull back around.
But I think that's, you'll see there's a hydrant right there where we stop, so the pipe goes around the hydrant.
right.
That's,
Oh, the hydrant is right across from my house.
yeah, that's,
Well, there's another one down here,
Oh, is there? I
which
apologize.
doesn't even, I called at one point in time, I wasn't even sure it was operational.
all we can do is look at it, see if it's, like you said, there's nothing in the way, and otherwise it's done, it's not a huge cost, and
Yeah.
it's not gonna slow anything down. I'm sure we can try to figure it out, but,
That would be wonderful. We
We'll
really
have the pipes go around the big trees or something.
That would be cost effective, right? No, that would be wonderful. And then one last question that I
Yeah.
have, turtle fence, when does it go? Out of curiosity. Oh, you're in charge of.
once they're done, it actually can come down. Once we're
On
done.
the whole project.
When the whole okay, so the turtle project is part of this project.
Yes.
Okay, so in my own ignorance, I don't know if you knew this, I thought the turtle project was one thing. And then the sewer was totally separate.
So
I
this
understand.
area was considered habitat.
Okay,
So we had to get all these permits to do this work. They went in and put the fence in. And we had our turtle guys go in. The last 2 days, they found turtles. They took them outside. So now we know there's no turtles in here. And we can work inside that fence as long as there's no turtles, they can get in. So they have to check the fence is here. As long as the turtles can't push the fence down, which they shouldn't.
I'm trying to get my bearings here. So this is where it's being cleared today.
Yes.
So, and then you access the property this way, and you've got the houses here.
Yeah.
How far deep are you going in?
So,
I'm just
The
curious.
back of the houses, the back property line,
Mhm.
there's 100-foot buffer of trees all the way around this.
Okay.
Okay, and this is all green. And this is about 11 acres, and there's a clearing here that's gonna be temporary. This will become woods again.
Oh, is this where you're gonna store all
That's
the?
where we're gonna store
Oh, I
it.
was wondering about that.
The reason that saved us quite a
So
bit. of money.
when you come down the road, you turn this corner,
Yep.
and there are existing houses here.
Right,
Mhm.
This is all up behind them.
okay.
And then there's a
And
house
we exempt.
on, two
There was
houses
one on
on
this
this
corner as
side,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and it's all behind them, and we're accessing everything from this location.
Okay, so this is Cheryl's and Evan's house.
Right.
These lots are empty.
Okay.
And by stockpiling a lot of it, we reduce truck traffic
That's a really
substantially.
great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
So,
That's great. Okay, well, I think you've answered all of our questions and we appreciate you
You
talking.
can come back
to us.
anytime you want, we meet every
No,
day.
don't say that. We thank you.
and
Great.
now that we have your emails, when we get answers, we'll copy
That's
both of you and
wonderful.
let you
Right.
know what's going on.
Yeah,
We
and
appreciate
I'll
it.
walk
Thank
and see,
You're
I'll
welcome.
walk tomorrow and see,
I'll look at
What
you.
trees?
I can't go tomorrow, but
yeah, no, tomorrow I'll just take a walk over there and see if it's, maybe these big trees are beyond Turtle Road.
It seems like they should be beyond that they should be further back than where we're gonna excavate. At
anything
one
that-
point in time, were
should
the
be on this
foundations in the
big-
ground over there?
Anything that's in
Remember the
that,
foundations
should
in
be
the
around
ground?
this big,
Right.
maybe on the far edge,
Yeah,
they're bigger, but we're not taking those
Started
down.
building.
We can maybe save those.
Yes.
Answer is yes.
That's on the edge of the fence. They're still gonna cut
There's
the
some-
roots of it, so.
Somebody's on.
Hello,
The answer to your question is yes, there were foundations.
Oh,
okay. So where those small trees were, there were originally foundations in the ground.
Mhm.
And so I don't think we're gonna go beyond that scope of
See.
where those little pine trees are now.
Okay, I mean, I can't
Anything
complain about
beyond
that.
is gonna stay.
But we have-
That's why we're trying to
we have
keep as
these 3 or
much
4 weeks
there as
to
possible.
have-
That's
to
wonderful.
have some time to think.
I'll be on vacation.
and now that I just
My-
noticed
Y'all on me.
there's people online, does anybody online want to speak? Ask
Yeah,
any questions?
Yeah, Lane,
Yes.
I was a couple minutes late.
Okay, so who
I'll
wants
defer.
to,
I'll defer.
okay,
Okay, I have a question. Is the footpath to the train, is it gonna still be there or it's gonna go away? Sorry, I was a little bit late.
the footpath to the train station.
That's gonna still be there.
That'll be there. We're not doing anything with
That's what we're
that.
talking, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Right
Yeah.
across from my house.
There will be an excavation through it for a day or two, while they put the pipe in, but then.
It's busy.
it's just-
Anybody else?
Thank
Hey,
you.
Lane. Hey, Lane, it's Dave.
Yep.
Hey, couple quick questions. Can you comment at all about the suit, which obviously tied up you sending out that letter?
Yeah. Right now, it's not a suit yet, and we hope it doesn't get there. It's a preliminary injunction to stop us from accessing the so-called Davis property from Country Club Way. And the town's position is that we own the abutting lot to Country Club Way, independent of the Davis property. The sewer department, wastewater department owns that lot. And we're using that lot to access the Davis property. And in question is in the courts to decide is whether or not we can access the Davis property through the wastewater owned lot.
Yeah.
That's the question. And we haven't had an
Um,
answer yet. And
no.
the judge said status quo until they get back to us.
All right, I could be wrong, but just double check. So in that letter that you sent, it referenced in the lawsuit the corporation owned by the country club, but the country club doesn't own the road.
Well,
So
that's the.
sounds like the wrong party was suing us.
The entity that filed that injunction is who we referenced in the letter we sent out.
Ah, all right.
Oh,
I would
there's a
just
lot.
clarify that
Yeah,
because, right, because that corp owns the country club, a separate corp owns the roadway. So the country club shouldn't have any standing in court, right? Because the argument is the roadway access. You follow my logic?
we have authority to access, we have the authority through deeded rights by us owning the lot, the abutting lot to Country Club Way, to install utilities. So
Right.
that's not in question. We
No, I
haven't
got
had
it.
anything against that yet.
I'm
but
just
it's-
I'm just making a point for our attorneys,
Oh.
through you, that I don't think they have legal standing to bring suit using that corporation. It's the wrong corp. And that would continue to go towards my theory that the country club and the roadway are one and the same, and we should be going after them for the roads. But that's a separate topic outside your jurisdiction. All
I'll mention it to them.
right, cool. Second thing, because I missed the beginning. So at the end of the project, how much are we paving?
We're going,
The paving will be just the section of, that we now expect to excavate, that's half of the street you see here. That will be patched and paved curb to curb for that length of the road. Back to the base course that's there now.
All right, I can't see it because it's so far away.
It's,
Almost.
but here's the corners, so it's the end closest to our leaching field. This is the only part where we're in the street. It's about
Okay.
450, 500 feet long.
About
All right,
half
but
of
it's
that
not-
stretch.
It's not curb to curb of the straightaway?
No, only half of it.
but we're paving.
It's curb to curb, it is we curb to curb. For that stretch of road, that 500 feet, whatever it is, after, and it's not just the patch, it's the answer. It's gonna be curb to curb, Cape Cod berm to Cape Cod berm, for that stretch of the road they excavated.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
know.
about 50% of the length of that straightaway.
And after
Okay, so-
tonight's discussion, it may be a little longer, but we're only digging up half of it, but paving, final paving, will be curb to curb.
All right, perfect. That's what I thought for a long time, but I didn't know if there was any changes with the lawsuit and so on and so forth. So, all right.
That's what we can tell you today.
Yeah, I know. Always fluid, Elaine. I know. I know.
It does reinforce why we have a difficulty doing the whole thing on the road.
Good spot right there would be for a speed bump when we go curb to curb.
I have a problem with that.
Put in a couple.
Sign, I
Put in a
will-
couple.
Stop signs,
I like the
speed
speed
bumps.
bump a lot.
I just
Yeah.
wrote down to put a sign at that pathway for kid, just to kind of slow down pedestrians crossing.
If you have to bounce, go.
That's simple.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
That would be
something.
huge.
Finish
It
it.
really would be huge.
I put a little sign out there today just because the trucks were fast today.
Yeah.
It is an accident waiting to happen, and it's very busy.
Yeah.
The kids that use that, they meet there in the morning.
there's
to go to
large
school and.
Unfortunately, then it's your neighbors up the road that do most of the driving. I was up there a few times, it's like, gave it a BMW, 20 miles an hour on the corner.
And it's a mom with kids in the back driving it. I know.
Oh, it's
I know.
terrible. I mean, you're doing it to your neighbors. I don't
I
understand.
don't understand it either.
Yeah.
Does anybody else online have any questions or want us to clarify anything?
Yes,
I do.
Okay, Beverly, looks like you're chimed in first.
Well, as you know, I've lived here for 25 years. My husband, late husband, George Berger, was very active in Kingston. And he probably would be devastated about all those trees being cutting down, but he would have understood the need for the leaching field. But the one thing he was really adamant about was access from Indian Pond to the train station. I have no idea what is planned for the leaching fields, but if we could have a path, a good path from Indian Pond to the train station, not for cars, for bikes, kids, whatever, that would be just awesome.
Brian's writing it down.
I'll start with the negative only because I have to. The permit we have limits our ability to have access across that because it's considered a turtle habitat. That being said, we're already looking at things like that.
George was on the ZBA, so
Right.
We're working with Matt Pinella, the conservation agent. They're working on trying to make connections, pathways to other conservation land next door
Mhm.
for the public, for the citizens.
Mhm.
And if there's some way to work this in, it's all part of that. The positive side is the good side. That might work because we have a lot of flexibility at the end of this. We want to see how it looks. It's also very steep. It's like a 70-foot drop from our site down to the,
Over here,
over there.
really.
It's like this.
Maybe conservation's the way to go on that and have them put a bicycle path in and run it
perfect. Yes.
That'd be wonderful.
on the next side.
A pathway is
Yes.
usually is ideal there. It's ideal to have a pathway, at least like people to walk, to have our bikes in there, to the train station.
We're open to whatever we can do within our permit and what conservation is able to do as well.
In our jurisdiction.
Yeah, our jurisdiction and funding. So, we're definitely willing to work with what we can to make things happen for you.
And George will be thanking you.
Yes, we've had those conversations before and
I know we have.
as positive as this one, so. Would anybody else there was somebody else, I believe?
Yes. Hi. I'm under Brian.
Yes.
Can we come down and see this plan? Just what my house abuts some of the leaching fields. So I just want to see. I see some of the black fence, but I'm just curious. Is it like clear cut all the way up to that black fence? What am I looking to see in my woods in my
So-
backyard?
If you go to the back of your house, if you're on Country Way, there's a silt fence about 2 feet high, black silt fence. That's the limit of clearing. And that fence in your back property should be at least 100 feet of woods that's not going to be touched.
Okay, yep. So then from that on though, is there potential for it to be clear cut? Cause then
It is
I'll be
all gonna be
seeing,
clear cut. 11 acres will be clear cut and there'll be a meadow at the end of this, an open meadow with wildflowers and bird houses and it'll look nice. It just won't be a forest.
can I come down to see, a plan of what this looks like, or can I email and get a copy?
There'll be plans in the office. And,
And we'll try to get something on our website that just is a visual anyway. If we can have a smaller size of this or something we can put out there so you can see as well. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
that would be great.
We're more than happy to have you come down and visit, but it might save you a trip if you don't have the flexibility to come in.
Yeah, that would definitely be great to be able to just see it online or whatever, wherever you post it.
it'd be helpful just to have one of us show you. Not that you don't know how to read a plan, but my experience is unless we actually point out exactly what you can misunderstand the plan. So, I mean, one of us, Dave is the superintendent, he knows this as well as me, and we're all kind of around at some point. Just give us a call and we can meet you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would anybody else like to ask anything?
It's like in the middle of the curve, that it's comes out
Okay,
of the roadway and goes.
we meet
into
every
there,
2
right?
weeks,
Shows
and like Brian
shows
said,
catch basins.
just
so
call
where
the
that's gonna
office.
transition.
Our emails are out there. We'll
Come out of the woods.
be as
This way you'll see that this is
responsive
all
to
low.
whatever your questions or
Touching
clarification is.
Is it turn 1, 2, 1, 2, 6, 5, and 6.
But
Get it done.
speaking of catch
Okay.
basins-
Get it done?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Well,
You're
thank you.
welcome.
It was real nice to meet you.
You
Thank you
too.
so much. But just as an FYI, one of these catch basins down here, I don't think works because it always fills up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of times the road becomes impassable.
Jeannie,
I
I'm taking over
noticed
the chair.
since you guys put those things up, it
Well,
was real bad with a little rain.
we got that message in the catch basins.
Yeah.
So not only is the basin full, but now that filter fabric is supposed to keep all the dirt and debris out of there.
Mhm.
That's further restricting.
That's
flow,
kinda
so it
what
might build up quicker and then settle slower.
Right, I noticed that. That's why,
Silt socks.
It has a tendency to flood right here,
Yeah.
right? When you say right here, I mean, one day people were not driving through it. That's how deep it was.
Yeah.
People were going the other way around.
It's not a it's not a town road. You
it's not a
can't
well.
maintain it.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's really up to the owner. And I don't know what I can tell you about that, but it's just a matter of going with the bucket.
It's a mess.
It'll be done in 5 minutes, but we'd send some up.
I know you, would. I know you, would. I know you. would.
Okay.
And I've been in the town for 40 years, so I know how you guys operate, but I'm new here and I didn't know this was. But, yeah, none of us did.
Anybody else online want to talk about this subject for the moment? Okay, we're good. We're gonna go on with our regular business then. You're all set?
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
all
we
set.
are. Thank you
Thanks.
so very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Just think that-
Yeah, I'll let my
Go ahead.
husband know.
Nice to meet you.
Nick,
The older I get, the smaller the world is.
Nice to meet
There's a
you.
lot of great people goes
Oh, yeah,
around.
a lot of,
Yeah.
this is Braintree when I was a boy.
Did you
Kingston, I
know,
moved here in '86. Is what Braintree was in '52.
did you know the Gorhams?
I
There's a
know.
bunch of them, the Morrisseys and,
Morrissey's definitely,
yeah, everybody knew the Morrisseys.
Yeah.
And
with 19 kids in it. So,
everybody knew them.
19
Thank
kids.
you all so much for
Thank
your
you
time.
so
It's
very
so
much.
much better.
Have a good
Thank you.
night.
Thanks so much.
All right, moving on. Update from superintendent. You ready for that?
Sure.
Okay.
So treatment continues to go well at the plant. Everything's looking great with the 3 tanks still. We are at the point now that we've been running the same tanks, tank 1, 2, and 3 for about 6 months. So we're gonna rotate now and go to tank 2, 3, and 4. We'll bring tank 4 online. That's gonna start happening tomorrow. It's usually about a 1-day process to move almost a 0.5 million gallon of water into the next tank. So that's gonna happen this week. We've had the general contractor in that did the upgrade. He's been working on some effluent pumps that we've had some trouble with. And I think they've narrowed down the problem to some bad insulation on some wire. That was addressed yesterday, and so far, they've been running fine.
Yes.
So that's positive news. So hopefully that continues. And other than that, just the activity that's starting up with the leaching fields kind of got us hopping around this week, but everything else continues to go good. There's one other item since I'm doing the update here. Item 7, we have the plant upgrade Fraser plumbing issue,
Okay,
which a subcontractor approached me through email and written letter that they were looking to collect their payments direct from the town because they weren't getting paid from the general contractor. And I just got a letter just before the meeting that the general contractor is dealing with that internally themselves.
Okay.
We don't really have an obligation to follow up on it. So that problem is fixing itself.
okay, so we'll wait for another response.
Other than that, Jeannie's been working on some water worth and budgetary stuff. We'll continue to work on that, but we'll carry that into another meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about, item 2 is also kind of falls into my wheelhouse. Decommissioning of the liftgate truck and the escape.
Right,
So the liftgate truck has been out of service and in the back of the plant for a while now. That, I guess, has been authorized now to go to auction.
yeah, the selectmen authorized that to go.
Yeah, so we're gonna get rid of that, and we're.
Is there another vehicle as well?
The escape, which has been used by multiple departments.
Okay,
A lot of people don't really feel safe driving it anymore.
is that our vehicle?
It was Ken's
Oh, okay,
back in the day. And then when his vehicle was replaced with a pickup truck, it was decided to kind of give that to the townhouse to use as a community vehicle.
Yep.
But it's getting up in age and it's starting to become an expense on our end to upkeep it for all the departments, and no one feels safe driving it.
right.
So I think that's something we just gotta get the okay between all the commissioners to say, yes, we're okay with
Unless they want to buy it from
putting
us.
this thing to auction.
Take
So-
title to it.
And Jeannie doesn't feel safe driving. She'll, we can pay per mile for it, probably make out a lot better than paying insurance on it and the maintenance on it. So it's under my feeling anyway. Should just give, no one's using it, it's just sitting there. And the less you use it,
Yeah.
So
the more
Let it
unsafe,
go.
the more unsafe it becomes, so. But we can bring this up to the next meeting.
Okay, that's fine.
And if all three vote, favorable to get rid of it, then I can, pursue that. And
Yep.
Get that to auction as well. And that's it for my.
Okay, you want to do a leaching field upgrade, anything, or?
The only I'd add to what we just had a nice discussion about is that the contractor was there this morning. They kicked in right at 7. And they went gangbusters until the chipper had a mechanical problem at around 1-ish. And I don't know that they got it fixed before the end of the day. They were trying to, but I will say that they've completed all the access road layout is done, and they were starting to cut behind. At noontime, they were cutting behind the houses that are right there, that 2 vacant lots that we can't access.
Okay,
And they were really going. They brought in the extra pieces of equipment. They should be done. I would not be surprised if they're done Friday.
but they're they're cutting the trees and pulling all the stumps.
They're cutting the trees first. They'll be starting to stump with. But what'll happen is they're cutting the trees. CC will be bringing in an excavator probably tomorrow
To give a grade.
to try to put the grade down
Yeah.
as far ahead as we are to get a grade so they can start. Once they get enough room, these trucks that are taking the chips can back in all the way up and have all the chips up there. So again, I'll be up there again. I'm sure you'll be up every day, but I'll be up there probably Thursday, and
Okay. Well, I went by today, I wanted to see what was going on, so.
it's definitely moving ahead.
I made 2 passes up there today, to get a general feel how it's going.
Yeah.
Because, these guys haven't really had a lot of experience in there and how the neighbors would be and everything. For the most part, everything was under control and seemed to be going as well as it can considering the access.
Okay.
And they seem
Yeah.
conscientious about their work,
Yeah, they're
you know,
very good.
and
I'm
working
very-
with the neighbors.
Yeah, Lamar from CDM doing a great job. Keeping notes and everything right now, I would say could not be better.
Yeah, very good.
And we got a turtle training education yesterday, so it was a bonus.
But you did find some up there,
Yeah, I learned something. That
just out of curiosity, yeah.
9 turtles were found. They were right where we thought they would be, mostly on the north side of the access from the old road, the old car road,
Yep.
where it had been burned over. But what I learned with the dog that we talked about is that that 1 or 2 inches of snow was enough to depress the scent, so the dog couldn't find it. So that was education for me. The turtles are probably hibernating for only a couple of weeks, based on my talk with Brian. And he knows he's been in here a lot. And the reason there's so many turtles there is because of the tea. I think we talked about the habitat for breeding is that sandbank, the tea. We created it. They
Yeah.
love people because they open it up and it's nice and warm. It's facing the south. It's like they want to go to Florida, you know. They lay their eggs. They need the heat to incubate the eggs, and then they,
The only problem is the little turtles had, they roll down the bottom of the hill and they can't get up to where they're supposed to be. They gotta go someplace else.
I was telling somebody that, it's amazing when my snapping turtles, I don't think this is a part but the snapping turtles want to live in the water, and they dig out. The same female comes into my backyard, lays the eggs. They sit there for 2-3 months, and then one day around the end of September, October, they all hatch. They go around the hole they were laid in, and they know exactly which way to go.
Yeah.
To the water.
Into the water.
They've never been there, and they go around in circles. It's like, come on, how do you do that? Anyway, it was good. It's good.
All right, I'll hold the minutes off till the next meeting. That's okay with everybody? Yeah, we can read them. Anything else from you?
I think everything what Gene's doing on the.
Jeannie, you got anything
Site.
going on you want to talk about? Good, all right.
All right. Make
Yeah,
a motion
You
to
know,
adjourn.
just a little sidebar
Yep.
too, is just some things have been floating around for town meetings. We get a draft of our articles.
Okay,
Everything looks like that's moving forward on that, so that'll be coming up pretty soon.
yes.
I guess I would be remiss if I didn't say we got the permits filed, everything done Friday. We had a million emails back and forth, but except for the declaration of restriction, which is, did you see anything today, buddy? No. Except for that, which is a separate document, we're all set, and that's where we always start. That's good.
Jumping through hoops at the tail end of it all, Brian. Thank you for all your efforts, Dan.
Do we have a commitment bill we want to clean up real quick? I'm sorry. I just saw that. Those are usually somewhat time sensitive. $65.80 or 51. Okay. We'll make a motion on that to
I
accept
make a
that.
motion to accept that.
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're good. All right,
Make a motion to adjourn, right? I said it, all right?
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.